Lila Perez had always been known as the quiet girl at Ridgeway High School. She wasn't unpopular, just invisible. She blended into hallways, sat in the back of classrooms, and rarely spoke unless called on. Despite her silence, her heart was loud. Loud enough to hold a crush she had kept secret for almost 2 full years. The crush's name was Ethan West, a boy who was effortlessly charming without even knowing it. He never acted like he was too cool for anyone. He helped teachers carry boxes, gave his friends rides, and always smiled at people in the hallway. To Lila, he was completely out of reach, like one of those bright stars you can see but can never touch. One afternoon, Lila sat in the cafeteria, doodling in her notebook while pretending not to look at Ethan sitting just 2 tables away. He was talking with his friend Josh, laughing about something on his phone. Then, suddenly, she heard the most important sentence of her teenage life. "Bro, if Ariana Grande ever comes to this town, I swear, I'm meeting her," Ethan said with total passion. "She's been my favorite singer since middle school." Lila's head shot up. Ariana Grande. Of all people. The one celebrity Lila actually admired. She loved Ariana's confidence, her music, and the message she always sent about being yourself. But instead of feeling inspired, Lila felt a sinking weight inside her chest. She compared herself instantly. Ariana's beauty, voice, confidence, none of which she believed she had. That night, she stared at her reflection, twisting her long dark hair into different styles. It wasn't perfect, but when she tied it up into a high ponytail, something inside her clicked. She leaned closer to the mirror and tried a soft, "Hi, how are you?" mimicking Ariana's tone. Her voice cracked a little, but the idea had already taken root. It grew rapidly, like a spark becoming a flame. She didn't want to be Ariana forever. She just wanted Ethan to notice her, even if it meant pretending to be someone else for a moment. Just one moment. The next day she bought a cheap glitter jacket from a thrift shop, watched multiple tutorials on Ariana-style makeup, and practiced the signature cat-eye eyeliner. She even found a fake microphone accessory. But the boldest thing she did was create a social media account with the username, Ariana G. official__fans, and uploaded a few edited photos she found online. Nothing too obvious, just screenshots and fan edits that looked real enough from a distance. Within an hour, Ethan liked one of the posts. Within 2 hours, he followed the account. Within 3 hours, Lila's hands were trembling as she typed out her first message to him. "Hey love. Big surprise coming soon. Stay tuned." She felt sick with nervousness after hitting send. Ethan responded quickly, saying he couldn't believe Ariana Grande herself messaged him, and that he had always dreamed of meeting her. Lila swallowed hard. She wanted to come clean, she really did. But then fear came rushing in. If she told him the truth, what if he hated her? What if he thought she was a joke? The idea hurt too much. So she continued. The conversation grew. Ethan was kind, respectful, and beyond excited. He told Ariana about how her music helped him through a hard time when his family was struggling. He talked about how he always admired her bravery. Lila read every message with guilt growing in her chest like a bruise spreading across skin. 2 days later, she made her biggest mistake. She told Ethan she wanted to meet him in person. Not as herself, but as Ariana. Ethan nearly fainted from excitement over text. He begged for details, and Lila, acting quickly, rented a tiny recording studio with some saved-up babysitting money. It was a small space with plain white walls, a cheap microphone, and one sofa. Totally unlike any real celebrity studio, but she convinced herself that dim lighting and the excitement would distract him. On the day of the meeting, Lila dressed in her best Ariana look. High ponytail, shimmery makeup, oversized hoodie, thigh-high boots. It wasn't perfect, but from far away, or in low light, it was convincing enough. She walked into the studio 15 minutes early, heart pounding. Every minute felt like a countdown to disaster. When Ethan finally texted, "I'm outside," her knees turned weak. The door opened. Ethan stepped in slowly, eyes wide, jaw slightly dropped. His breath caught as he whispered, Ariana." Lila nodded, trying to replicate Ariana's soft smile. Ethan approached, nervous but thrilled. She gave him a small wave and attempted saying, "Hi, sweetie," in Ariana's voice. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. She hoped he wouldn't notice. At first, Ethan was too starstruck to think clearly. He asked for a hug, which she gave while praying he wouldn't feel how much she was shaking. Then he asked if she could sing just a little bit of No Tears Left to Cry. Her throat nearly closed up. But Lila managed a few lines, breathier than normal, but still on pitch. Ethan smiled, though a hint of confusion flickered across his face. Then he said something that made her stomach twist. You look kind of different from the videos. Are you okay? Like, you're not sick or anything, right? Lila froze for a moment, then forced a laugh and brushed it off with a soft, just tired, babe. But the guilt was too much. It sat heavy inside her like a stone. Before she could decide whether to confess or run out the door, the studio door burst open again. Her best friend Mia rushed in, out of breath, eyes wide. Lila, you can't do this. He deserves to know the truth. Ethan turned sharply. Lila. The name echoed through the room like a dropped glass shattering across the floor. Ethan looked back at Ariana, confusion turning into disbelief. Lila felt her cheeks burn. The wig slipped slightly to the side. Her fake voice cracked. In that moment, everything crumbled. She whispered, I'm sorry, as her eyes filled with tears. Ethan shook his head slowly, hurt flashing across his face. You're not Ariana, are you? No, she cried. I'm not. I'm so sorry, Ethan. I didn't mean to hurt you. I liked you. And I thought you'd never notice someone like me. You like Ariana, and I thought maybe if I pretended, just once, you'd talk to me. I was stupid. I just wanted to feel like I mattered. Her voice broke completely, and she dropped her head into her hands. The glitter makeup she'd worked on for an hour began to smear as tears streamed down. For a long moment, the room was painfully silent. Then Ethan let out a slow breath and said, gently, Lila, why didn't you just talk to me as yourself? You didn't have to pretend. She shook her head. You don't understand. You're confident and cool and good looking. I'm just me. And I thought the only way to get your attention was to be someone better. Ethan stepped closer, not angry, just sad. Do you really think I'd only like someone because they look like a celebrity? Or sing like her? Lila, I liked Ariana because of her confidence. Her authenticity. Not because she's perfect. You pretending to be her, it just tells me how little you think of yourself. But you don't need all this glitter and fakeness. You're already interesting. You just don't see it yet. Lila wiped her cheeks, embarrassed beyond measure but also surprised by Ethan's kindness. She expected shouting, anger, humiliation. Instead, she found understanding. Still, Ethan continued, you lied to me. And I need time to process that. Those words hurt more than anything, but she nodded. He walked out, leaving her and Mia standing in the small studio. Lila collapsed into a chair, crying into her hands. Over the next few days, Lila stayed quiet at school. She avoided Ethan completely. She removed the fake account and deleted every message she had sent. She felt terrible about what she did, but she also learned something important about herself. That insecurity can push a person into mistakes they never imagined making. 3 days later, while Lila sat alone under a tree during lunch, she heard footsteps. She looked up to see Ethan standing there, holding something behind his back. Can I sit? He asked. Lila nodded nervously. He sat down beside her and took a deep breath. I've been thinking a lot about what happened. You were wrong to lie. But I also understand why you did it. And honestly, I wish you hadn't felt like you needed to pretend. Lila kept her eyes down. I'm sorry, Ethan, for everything. I know, he said gently. Then he revealed what he had been holding, 2 concert tickets. Not just any tickets. Ariana Grande's real tour, coming to a nearby city. Lila's mouth fell open. I bought these months ago, Ethan explained. I was planning to go with Josh, but he can't anymore. And I figured, maybe we could go together. As ourselves. No disguises. No lies. Just you and me. Her heart swelled, overwhelmed with gratitude and shock. Ethan, are you sure? After everything. He smiled softly. Yeah. Because everyone makes mistakes. It's what you learn afterward that actually matters. For the first time in a long while, Lila felt seen, not as a fake version of someone famous, not as a girl hiding in the background, but as herself. Ethan stood up, offering his hand. So, friends. She took his hand, smiling. Friends. As they walked back toward the school building, it felt like a new beginning. Lila didn't need wigs, glitter, or a celebrity voice. She only needed honesty and confidence, the same things she admired about Ariana in the first place. And somewhere inside her, she finally understood the message she had forgotten. Pretending to be someone else might get temporary attention. But being yourself is what builds real connection.